I'm Peggy Reyes from the Branson International Film Festival, and I am here this evening with Debbie Sutcliffe, and she's going to speak to us a little bit about who's Debbie and what she's been up to, and maybe a couple of things of what she might have going on in the future. So we just wanted to take some time tonight, Debbie, to speak with you and just about your career as an actress and things you've learned along the way, maybe that you could share with those who are coming up behind you, and then just for us to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to read some things that I know about you, and then you can add to that, or correct me if I'm wrong. So you are Debbie Sutcliffe, and you're an award-winning lead actress and part of the Treasure Coast talent family from Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. You are a writer, director, and producer for SS Films, where they've created Pushing Envelopes, South of Swan Creek, Audition Number 105, and The Walk, in partnership with Crown Flicks. You can learn all about Debbie at Sutcliffe, which is her last name, Sutcliffe with an E, Debbie.com. But today we're going to hear about your favorite role as a wife and mother, as well as one of the leading voices in the Christian film world in Southwest Missouri. So we're super excited to get to know you and let others know about you as well. And so let's just talk a little bit about, who's Debbie and how did you get involved in this whole industry and acting and all of that?
Okay. Well, first of all, hello, and you got all that right. So all that information is right. Good job. And you even said my last name right. So that's a kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. First of all, I am a wife. I am a mother of a grown married son, lives off his home base is Wichita now. Actually, he's a pilot, so you just never know where he might be. I am a film producer, writer, director of faith-based films, and I'm also an actress in the Springfield, Branson, Missouri area, but I travel here and there and everywhere. And I love films only because I know the power of films. Like I always say, we can be in the best of moods and we can go to the theater and a film will make us cry. Or we can be just in a really depressed, sad mood, and a film can make us laugh. A film can make us stop and think about things bigger than ourselves. And when I make a film, I hope it's something that will make people stop, think, pause, and maybe change their life a little bit.
Awesome.
And I always take,
go ahead.
I always take family first, Christ in the center. And so I have a day job also, as you guys know. So that job, the film industry, wherever God leads me with that. But it's always family first. So for you new people, remember to take family seriously. I didn't even start in this business till my son was graduating from high school, and that was what was right for me. Everybody has something different, but just remember there's moments you can never get back with your family. So you want to remember that family comes first with Christ in the center. Yes.
And that's so important in any, industry that we do as a career, is that we put, our family and Christ before, those things that we do. Yeah.
We hope when we make a faith-based film that it touches the world. But first of all, we're called to be a wife, a husband, teach godly ways to our children. And that is our first duty. And then it's great to make films. It's great to we don't do it for the awards. We do it hopefully for the message. But
Right.
remember, family first.
Yes, yes. And, message of hope,
Mhm.
and in those faith-based family type films, that message of hope. And that's what we hope comes across, and that somebody would surrender their life to Jesus,
Mhm. Mhm.
that's why we do
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I made pushing envelopes, I just, I sent it off to the film festivals and I prayed, and I'm like, it wasn't for the awards, although it got some great awards, but it wasn't for the awards. My prayer was, God, if it touches just one person, then my job is done. So
Right,
that's the way you look at it when you go into something like that.
right. Now, so for pushing envelopes, I know that it was at our film festival, and I know it's been at others. Is it still in the festival circuit now, or has it completed its run through the film festivals?
It is completed, and its last festival was going to be International Christian Film Festival, right when the whole COVID thing came on, and so it was up for three nominations, and I did get Best Actress in that, so that was exciting. But it was a virtual awards because it was canceled for COVID.
Right.
But that was its last festival. Now it is it's at 24 Flicks, and Isaac Hernandez has it in 2 or 3 different places. You see it on the webpage. It's out there.
Okay, good. So if people want to see pushing envelopes, then they can go to 24 Flicks.
Mhm.
And where else, Debbie, would they find that?
Well, it's going to be on like 3 more channels. Isaac Hernandez is getting those arranged right now. Basically, if you want to see, you can also go to the my webpage or Pushing Envelopes Facebook page. And we wanted, its purpose is to get out there for the masses to see. So it's pretty easy to find.
Okay, so pushing envelopes is what you need to look for. And then
Mhm.
what would you say that that was there an inspiration of a person that got you into this industry, or because you had said that you didn't really get into this industry until your son was graduating from high
Mhm.
school? So what got you into this industry?
It was just something I always wanted to do. And like I said, my son was getting ready to graduate. So they were having an open casting call in the Forsyth Branson area for the film Winter's Bone. And so they were having an open casting call, the biggest one I've seen since I've been in this area. And it was at a gymnasium, and the whole place was packed. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very green. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that, but it was something I always wanted to do. So I got up the courage to do it. And they, take a picture or holding a number. And that alone was a big experience just because I had never done anything like that. I did theater stuff in school that you had to do, but it was just something that I always wanted to do. So I went to that, and then they called me to actually audition for what would be Jennifer Lawrence's mom in the film. So I went down to Branson, across from the Branson Landing at the Hilton. I don't know if it's still the Hilton, but it was then, and met with Deborah and all the producers. And that was the first time I did a cold read casting call in front of the table there with the producers and everything. I did not land the role, but I was proud of myself for being able to even do that, because like I said, it was very green. They did call me back later to do a scene at Rockaway Beach at a bar scene they were doing there. And that is where I just watched the sound man, I watched the cameraman, I watched the wardrobe, which is also very fascinating. And they had this whole scene, like, you're going to be standing here, then you're going to come over here. And, I'm doing this whole scene, and I'm getting really excited because this is just great stuff. And again, keep in mind, I was very new to this. So I'm thinking this is going to be great because this camera is just going to be shining on me. And by the time I saw the movie, a lot of that was cut out. And what was there was so smoky because they had the bar smoke
Yeah.
fog machine going. So you could barely see me. I know it's me, but most of my scene was cut. So welcome to the world of film.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. I learned the backside of film, and that like I said, the wardrobe department, the camera, the sound guy, all that was just so interesting to me. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've got the Winter's Bone poster on my wall. It is not a faith-based film at all, but it still is worthy of a spot on my wall because it was the first film that got me into film. It's Academy Award nominated film.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started. So that poster earned a spot on my wall. I've got like Taney Como, Pushing Envelopes, Southwest Palm Creek posters. They're all going down my stairs. So we're up in a loft office. So any film of any importance is on there. If you see right on my corner, there's my little Taney Como signed poster.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah. So that is how, thankfully to that movie, like I said, it is not a faith-based film. After I read the book, especially, it is not a faith-based film, but it is a film that got me started. So
yeah. So that film then is because was new, you said, and hadn't done anything. So
Yes.
How did you end up getting to Treasure Coast Talent? Was it after that or before that?
It was after that. It was 2 or 3 years after that. I met some people at the Winter's Bone set, and they went to a creative actors workshop in Springfield, Missouri. So they had me audit that class, if I wanted to, and I wanted to. So I went, and I joined their acting class for almost 3 years. So getting my feet wet, getting my courage up, learning different things there. I just didn't want to walk in like, oh, I'm great, I know what I'm doing. And I wanted to actually study the craft. I still study the craft. I still do read books, do master classes. If I'm not on set, it's just like anything else. You got to work the muscle to keep sharp. And so it was a few years later, and I was on Facebook, and I keep seeing this Treasure Coast Talent. And for some reason, I don't know, they weren't like my friends or nothing. So I don't know why it kept popping up in my feed. Normally you have to have a friend that has liked that or something for it to show up. But anyways, it just kept showing up on my feed. So finally I just messaged her, and she was in Florida at that time. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if you take talent outside of Florida, but I'm looking for representation, and your posts on Facebook keep popping up to me. And she's like, well, I have a few people. I think there was one in Texas and one somewhere else, and the rest were Florida. And she's like, but I'm thinking of expanding. Send me your materials and we'll look them over. So she looked them over and got back to me a few days later. And she's like, yes, let's do this. So I was her actual first Missouri actor with Treasure Coast Talent. And then now she lives in Los Angeles, and she has, I don't know, 160, I don't know what the number is now, 150, 60, 70 actors now. So I don't know how many she has, but she has definitely grown, and the Lord has blessed her and Treasure Coast Talent.
Yeah, for sure. I got to do an interview with her a year or so ago. So that was a lot of fun too. So
yeah. She's a great person. And even though she's in LA, she's super busy. So I don't bug her unless I actually have to, but message her. She always, gets right back with me, answers whatever question I might have or whatever, we're thinking of at that moment. So
that's awesome. How important is it to have someone like Jean help you to find work?
For me, it's important because I'm in Missouri. So unless I can take care of local castings myself, which I do. If I'm going to do anything in this area, pretty much I book it myself. But if I'm going to do something that's a little bigger or outside of this area, you definitely need an agent helps.
Yeah.
Now, with saying that, I just talked to a friend of mine who moved to Los Angeles a couple years ago. They went out there, they got an agent, and they actually a few months ago dropped their agent because nobody works harder for yourself than you do, or at least you should be. And they were hustling and booking all this stuff, and they had such a big agency that the agency really they were not up there known actors, so they weren't getting really anything out of their agent, but they were still paying the commission. So in their minds, they felt they were just going to represent themselves.
Right.
And this is not everybody the same kind of business. So if that's what works for them, that's what works for them. And what works for somebody else is different. So I will say, if you like for Actors Access and stuff, you can get on there and you can pay where you can submit yourself to things, but those aren't always the same as what the agent will get. The agent will get some better things sometimes that they won't post for the public. So an agent helps to see things that we just can't see on our own. So
right. So there's value, obviously, in the agency, especially for those that might live in a smaller area where you wouldn't have access to, as many projects. So yeah.
Or even if you live in a bigger area like Los Angeles and you want to get into the bigger studios or stuff, they're probably not going to post on Facebook, or they're not going to post. They're not going to post on the public Actors Access page. They're going to submit directly to agents. So it all depends on what you're
looking for,
wanting to do. Yeah, what you're looking to do.
Right. Do you have anything new coming out that we should be watching for?
I am getting ready to film, and it's called, I want to get it right because it's kind of unique, Even the Old Die Young. I will be filming that in about my scenes in about 3 weeks. And that is it's a female written produced film. So that always catches my attention.
Right.
And it's a very unique story. So that should be coming out, and they're going to hit the film festivals with that as well when that's done. And other than that, I have some things that just keep getting pushed from 2020 to 2021, now to 2022. So we shall see.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the story for a lot of folks right now. So yeah.
Yep. I had a couple of bigger things, exciting things that were supposed to happen around mid 2020, and they got moved to where they thought would be safe earlier this year, 2021, and now they're like, nope, maybe 2020, maybe 22, we hope. And that's because there are people from even other countries involved in the film. So trying to do that international travel thing during COVID is not a good time. So.
And still, international is difficult. So
yeah. So we shall see about next year.
Yeah. And I think that you had told us this earlier, but not just pushing envelopes. Where can people go to follow your work and see what you are up to?
Okay, well, I'm on Facebook, and I am also on my Facebook. You can go to, I think it's the About section or whatever. It's got all the things about you, like you're with Treasure Coast Talent and all these things. There's a thing called Linktree. It's called Linktree. You can press on that, and that will open up every link to everything I have. So that's the easiest way. If you go to my webpage, which is just my name backwards, sutcliffedebbie.com. It has everything that I'm doing. I post the upcoming stuff, the behind the scenes from stuff in the past, film festival, pictures, everything.
So did I make your, did any pictures with me and you make it onto your website?
There's lots of your festivals pictures in there.
No, remember
When
you
we
and
were at
I?
the Branson thing. No, I don't think so. I think those were already, the Branson Film Festival was already posted, and then those came later. So
Yeah,
they're on my Facebook page if you want to see those. We went to, what do they call that place? The selfie.
selfie vibes.
Yeah, selfie
Yeah.
vibes. That was
That-
fun.
That
Yeah.
was fun. Yeah. And so you and I got to take some fun photos together.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that was fun.
That was fun. I had never been there before, so I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Debbie, we just want to thank you so much for taking time to kind of tell us a little bit about you and who you are and what you've done in the past, what you've got maybe going on in the future, and some encouragement for those actors or actresses that are just now getting into the film industry, you know, to have an agent
Yep.
or not, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's different for everybody. So do you is what I say.
yeah,
Don't look and say, oh, this person's doing this, so I must now go do that. No, do
right.
it, find what you enjoy doing and do that. Don't be your own
Yeah.
person. Don't copy other people. Just do your own thing. Find what you enjoy to do and go do it.
Yes. Yeah. And God's going to bless it.
Yeah.
For sure. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for listening to our interview today. We hope that we will get to see much more of Debbie in the future, and of course at our film festival next year, because it's our 5-year anniversary. So that'll be April of 2022. We'll have some information coming out about that soon. So we hope to have you there as well, Debbie.
Yep, I'll be there.
Thank you so much.